Hey guys, welcome to a new video, and in today's video I'm just going to be showing you a day in the life of a 7-figure brand owner in Dubai. So right now, just in this place on the palm, you can see right here it's got a beautiful view, and we also secured, let's see if you can show my hand, there we go. So we secured the whip for a few days. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Today we're going out to a few places. We also have a podcast planned, and I'm meeting up with a good friend of mine. His name's Kasper. He's a absolute killer, and he's Denmark's final boss when it comes to personal branding. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you guys in a bit. So I'm going to start doing these vlogs more often, so just let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys like them, if you want to see more, and be sure to hit that like button and subscribe also. Alright guys, so we just secured the whip. This is only for a few days, but it should be fun to drive nonetheless. So it's a Lamborghini Urus. I think it's like a 22. So we just picked up my boy Kasper.
I'm gonna be the passenger princess today.
So give them like a little intro about you, like what you do, where you're from, all that.
Well, I'm kind of the biggest coach in Denmark. I teach content marketing, and if you ask Danish people, they'll say, "Oh, he's controversial," but I don't know. I just speak the truth, I guess. So I run my own coaching business, my own agency, and I guess I'm a bit of an influencer as well, even though I hate that word. But,
celebrity.
Here we are.
Yeah, man. So yeah, today I think we're just gonna go some places, just have fun with this Urus. We've got a podcast lined up later on, so yeah, it should be good.
We were gonna get some drone shots as well, but the fucking Dubai security, they took my drone. So
yeah, tell us the story about that.
I just pulled up. Usually no problem with getting the drone in, but this time apparently there were some new rules, and they're like, "Excuse me, sir, come with us." I don't have the right papers. They just fucking confiscate the drone and my SD card as well. Right. So all the stuff we filmed in Thailand.
Yeah, fucking rip to that. But anyway, it is what it is. We're here now, enjoying this. Let's get some. Look at this shit.
It's fancy. Alright, so I convinced John for a little Q&A section here. So a common question that I get asked a lot, I'm sure you get it as well. If you're a complete beginner, what should you do right now? Like, how do you get started in online business?
Yeah, so a complete beginner, I honestly think the most important thing is to get your habits in check, and also to change your beliefs, because when you're first starting initially, right, you're going to think $1,000 a day is a lot in e-commerce. You're going to think 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. You know, it's a lot of money, which honestly, it's not that much, right? You only need 100 customers. Let's say you have an AOV of $40 to start. So that would be the first thing I say is, you know, change your beliefs, change your habits, and also figure out who you want to be and what do they look like. You know, who do they surround themselves with? How do they act? How do they talk? What type of clothes do they wear? You know, how they're perceived by people, all that type of thing, right? You want to write all of these down, and every single day you have to compare yourself to him, because you know that motherfucker's going to the gym every single day, right? You know that motherfucker's working hard. You know he's going after his goals every single day, right? You know he's networking with people, he doesn't take a day off, and you have to compare yourself to that guy and also be that guy, right? So that's the first thing I would do. The second thing also is to find your why. So this is something I recommend for anyone looking to actually find their purpose, is write down on a Google Doc 150 reasons why. So let's say you want to retire your parents, you don't want them to work anymore. Why? Because obviously you love your parents, you know, you're grateful that they brought you into the earth, right?
You almost kicked someone's life out of earth, bro. Almost ended someone's life.
And yeah, you want to retire them because you love them, you want to support them, and you feel like it's your duty, especially as a man, right? So that can be one of them. Another one can be, okay, you want to buy a nice car, or maybe you want to hire your family members so that you know, they're not dependent on working a normal job. You can pay them 6 figures a year, let's say, and now they get to travel the world and live life of freedom on their own terms because you're able to provide for them. So that's what I would do. I would write 150 reasons why, and then I would just start doing those habits every single day. So have 3 to 6 non-negotiable habits, and then pick a vehicle that you want to go after, whether it's personal branding, whether it's AI, whether it's e-commerce. Pick one vehicle and stick to it. Don't keep changing. Don't get shiny object syndrome, because that's how you're going to get left behind.
The only thing I have to add to that, I mean, it was spot on what he said basically, but just for you guys listening out there, just to conclude what he said, build your foundation. So your habits, your beliefs, your values, but most importantly, get someone to help you actually start. Like, you have a fire, like a spark right now. That's probably why you're watching this video. You don't want it to run out, because a spark can easily come and go, this motivation you have right now. So instead of it going in either direction, you're not doing anything with it, make sure you get some actual help. So someone who lives your dream life, someone who has a coaching program, actually invest in yourself and get someone to show you what to do step for step. Because that way you ensure that this spark you have, we're actually gonna use it for something. Instead of it just same old story, it runs out, you go back into the same habits and no change is made. So really be careful with your spark, don't lose it.
100%. Yeah, and I find as well, you have to, you know, change your environment, because it's impossible to outgrow a toxic environment. So if you're stuck with that in the beginning, that's fine. You have to work harder in order to get yourself out of that situation. Like for me, for example, when I was first starting, some days getting no sleep, most days getting like 2 to 3 hours of sleep. And I was up every day just testing products, you know, seeing the ad metrics, and then I was in like a community at a time. I'd send it in there, they'd give me the feedback, and then I'd make adjustments based on that feedback. And, you know, I tested 18 products to find my first winner. But back to what Casper was saying with the fire, you know, most people wait for the right time to start, but the right time to start is now. Nothing is ever going to be, you know, a perfect situation to start. Ultimately, you just have to start with what you have and just make do. Just take action, and eventually, if you believe in yourself, you put the work in, you'll see the results and you'll reap the fruits of your labor. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. There's never a perfect time, guys. You'll always have an excuse. Oh, I'm gonna start in 2 months when this is better. I'm gonna do this or that. Like, you have to start now. There will never be a better time than now. So super, super key. Don't waste any more time, especially if you're in your 20s. Like, now is the time you gotta build something. Now is the time you actually gotta set the standard for the rest of your life.
100%.
It's also way more fun, because I hear a lot of you guys, well, Casper, I wanna live my life, I wanna party. Well, party when you've earned it. We're having way more fun now. We party with different people, different countries, not the same old club in our hometown. It's way more fun to party when you actually made it and you're still young.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think you're supposed to, you know, go to war. Like, let's say you achieve a certain goal, you enjoy that certain goal, and then you go back to war again. Especially when you're young, I think that's the way you're supposed to live, because during your 20s, let's say in the olden times, right? Your 20s would have been your warrior years. When you build your physique, you build your brotherhood, you go to fucking war and you become an absolute animal, right? That's what our ancestors were doing. So most of you, you're in your 20s and you're getting too comfortable, or you can't find any reason to get up. The reason to get up, you have to find that yourself. But for me, it's very simple, right? You look around, it's so easy to be great nowadays because everyone is distracted. And, you know, it's a benefit for us, because the more distracted people are, the more money we make. So ultimately, it's like I think it's Neo, right? Or Morpheus. I think it's Morpheus, like the red pill or the blue pill, right? So you gotta choose the life that you want. And, you know, the life you live is the life you chose, but only the rich will admit it.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback right off of that, you can be a consumer, the person who sits and scrolls, or you can be a producer, the person who actually makes the videos, who sells the products, who takes advantage of social media. Like, there's so many people who are just zombies who's scrolling, but then there's a few people who's actually, again, cashing in. It's a big opportunity right now. There's a window. Whether you do drop shipping, agency, I was about to say Amazon FBA, there's so many business models out there. where you can leverage social media. So don't let it take over your life. Actually use it to cash in.
100%. Hey, there's a, what is that? Is that a Ferrari? Ferrari right here. Hey, let's go.
Coming up. There's so many nice cars here.
Bro, she was a chick.
Bro, it's some Russian. Holy shit. Oh, you fucked the camera.
Ah, it's all good, man.
Buy a new one.
Yeah, fuck it. It's only peanuts. So I'm with my boy right here, the final boss of personal branding in Denmark on the Maiden Bridge. We got a nice whip here for a couple of days, and this is possible for anyone. Anyone can do this, anyone can achieve this life. Alright guys, so we've had an amazing day in Dubai, just enjoying the fruits of our labor. And so what we did was, you know, we started off in the morning, we went to a drive to the desert, then we went to the Dubai Mall, had some shisha, then we met up with Nathan, one of Casper's friends, and he did a podcast. Then we went to a nice sort of beach club vibe, we had some fun there, and now we're just on the Maiden Bridge, just getting some videos, some content.
I think the bridge was actually closed, but we found like a little loophole, road we could get into.
It was a bit sketchy, man, but we had to go like sort of maybe the wrong way, but just hypothetical, of course. Alright bro, so with that being said, you know, I think it's the time, bro, like we ask you some questions. You know, you're obviously the fucking final boss in Denmark of the personal brand. You obviously know your stuff, so I think, you know, the audience, they want to know more about you, maybe know how to get into personal branding. So what would you say for them is the first step in order to get into personal branding?
I mean, the first step is 100% figure out who do you actually want to target. If you're for everybody, you're for nobody. So you want to figure out who's your ideal customer, who you're trying to attract with your content, right? So one thing you can do is, when you know your ideal customer, then you create the perfect online character. So you take you, what are your interests? What is your story? What is something that you can speak on? And then you kind of create your content from that. So for example, with me, I have opinions about the woke movement. So I have some opinions about all these people who say there's 60 genders and all this fucking woke bullshit. So I incorporate that into my content. So I tell my personal story, my opinions, and I document my journey. So that's what I make content about, and I know my ideal customer want to see that and want to buy from me when I post that. So analyze yourself and also who you're trying to actually reach. That's the first step.
It's powerful, bro. So once you say you've analyzed who it is you want to target, what sort of content you want to post, what would you say is the next step in order to grow?
Yeah, so you gotta be consistent. I know it's a cliche fucking answer, but you wanna post at least once a day. I posted 500 videos every single fucking day on Danish TikTok before I got paid a fucking Danish crown, as we call it. I made no money. So you gotta be consistent, minimum a year. Post every day for a year. Before that, I don't want to hear, Casper, I'm not getting any views, I'm not getting any results. If you become 1% better every single day and you post for a year, don't tell me that you're not going to gain some traction. It's impossible.
Yeah, the Kaizen principle. And you know, I think that honestly applies to anything. Anything you do in this life, as long as you're consistent for a long enough time, eventually, you know, that muscle is going to grow. It's like going to the gym, you consistently train that muscle, eventually you're going to get better at it and it's going to start gaining traction. And I think the universe will reward you for the fruits of your labor.
And also a little golden tip that you won't hear everywhere, like this is very cliche what I'm saying right now, it's very normal advice, be consistent. A golden nugget is, think of yourself as like a movie character, okay? So when you think about different movie characters in movies, you can kind of take 3 words and say, okay, he's sophisticated, he's honest, he is whatever, right? So you want your online personality to be easily identifiable, right? So for people to think, oh, well, Kasper, he's the guy who says this, this, and this, and he has this certain thing about him. It can be a way you talk, it can be a way you're dressed, it can be something you stand for. You want to stand for something. You want to be identifiable.
Identifiable, yes.
You want to be identifiable. So he's the guy who does this, this, and this. Authentic. So for John, for example, I told him, tap into your spiritual side, because that makes him unique, right? So he's an e-com guy, he makes a lot of money. Many people do that. How can he kind of stand out? Well, he has the spiritual side to him. These spiritual golden nuggets that he gives to people around him, right? So that's his unique selling point of his character, right?
Yeah, no, 100% agree. And I think in a world full of fake people, you have to be authentic. And at the end of the day, the highest frequency is authenticity. And below that is love, right? Love, joy, etc., right? There's like a whole pyramid. So essentially you being your authentic self and not giving a fuck about anyone else's opinion, whether it's your family, your girlfriend, people around you, not giving a fuck, just being who you are, posting your content, documenting your journey. And I also think even if you're posting at the start, you're not getting views, it doesn't matter, because you're actually documenting your journey to then one day when your content does blow up, people can go back and they can see, oh, what was this guy doing 5 years ago? What was he doing 2 years ago, right? So the key is you just have to post, and you only want to focus at the start on getting, even if you get 1 view, it doesn't matter, because that journey, that journal is there then for people to go back and watch.
Yeah, exactly. And content doesn't have to be hard. Just document your journey, the ups, the downs, be raw. You don't have to do all these fancy edits. But I will say a good advice is conquer short form first. So post one reel or one TikTok every single day and conquer that first. And then Instagram stories, YouTube can sort of be a little bonus, is what I would personally say. That's what I personally did. Because YouTube is a bit harder sometimes to break through, but TikTok, it's easy to get a lot of traction, get a lot of feedback, what works. It's easier to get your tribe, your followers, and then you can always direct them onto YouTube. When you're a bit better, a bit smarter, you know what people want, you're more clear on who you are and who you're trying to attract. So use short form for testing and when starting out.
100%. And what would you say the initial budget to start personal branding is?
You need 0 crowns, bro. Just fucking use your iPhone.
Crowns.
You're good.
Well, crowns.
Oh,
well,
dollars. Dollars. $0. You need nothing. If you have your phone, you're chilling. You don't need a fancy camera to start out with.
All right, so yeah, that's I think that wraps up the vlog. So we had an amazing day, and we're gonna start traveling Europe in a few months, maybe even next month. So there's gonna be more of these vlogs coming out. They're gonna be a lot better because we're gonna have a videographer, etc., to film for us, so we can actually just be in the present, someone else just filming that. So if you guys want to see more of that content, be sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and if you are interested in one-on-one coaching for e-commerce, I do offer that. And we have a very high success rate. We had a guy who was working at Walmart, earning just 13 bucks an hour, and now he's making like 200K per month average, right? That's revenue, profits around 60 to 80K per month, which, I mean, coming from that Walmart to now doing that is insane. Like, he's changed his life for good. So, I mean, we do offer that. We don't take on everyone, but if that's something you're interested in, just click the link down below, book a free demo call, and I'll talk to you guys on there. And also subscribe to this guy's YouTube, an absolute fucking killer.
International people can get me on Instagram.
Yeah,
my YouTube is still Danish.
It's still Danish, but he's expanding, so just subscribe to him and you'll see his journey on that.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
See you guys.